through eternity be remembered as our generation's maybe greatest evangelist.
I was in touch with Charlie just about every single day, going back many, many years. The last time I heard from him was the day before he was assassinated. The most fitting description I've heard of Charlie Kirk over the course of these last several days has been the description of calling him one of one. There was only one Charlie Kirk.
I met him during the transition. I was actually quite nervous. I don't get starstruck very often, but he was one that I knew about and the impact that he had. And so when I met him, he was sitting at he's so tall, and he was at a little small desk. And I was like, I don't think that desk quite fits you.
Big, giant, tall guy walks in, full of energy, just enthusiasm and passion.
The first time I met Charlie was in July of 2021, and I did his podcast, and I think both of us approached each other with some trepidation because we came from such different constellations and presumptions and worldviews. After my first meeting with Charlie, we became fast friends.
I knew Charlie from almost the beginning of his efforts. He said, we're going to do something with young people that no one says can be done, no matter where the political curve was. Republicans in, Republicans out, Trump in, Trump out. Charlie was always building.
The massive crowds of people who would turn out to these campus events for him, to talk to him, to have the chance to see him in action. The energy was electric and palpable. And it was just so cool to be in an environment where people were gathering together really to celebrate free speech and to engage in that dialogue and that debate that really Charlie did uniquely, period. But also Charlie certainly did better than anyone else.
Charlie was showing up, challenging other people to come and to debate him on ideas, to be able to engage substantively.
His mission was to exercise our First Amendment rights, celebrate and defend free speech, even if it's speech that you don't like or that you disagree with.
I'd tell Charlie, I'm too old to participate in Turning Point. And he would say, no, you're not. You're there to mentor young women. And he cared so much about everyone mentoring younger people in the next generation.
Charlie was an institution, right? And we all know who he is. And he has a meaning to people my age and older and a little bit younger.
What was key about Charlie was that he was a really good judge of character and a really good judge of people.
The work he was doing really reminded me of Matthew chapter 9, when they say that the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. But Charlie was in the vineyard every day, making sure that the workers were plentiful to meet the moment.
Charlie exemplified what it meant to have a personal relationship with Christ. He exemplified what it meant to live life to the fullest.
One word to describe Charlie Kirk. I look at him and think how powerful he is. So if I could think of one word, I think it's powerful.
Ethical, faithful,
Passion. Charlie lived with passion.
To ascribe one word for Charlie, it would be he was a force.
personal.
He's a man of courage. He was resilient in his faith. He was resilient in his conviction. He was resilient in his knowledge of the Word of God, his love for the country, his knowledge of being a patriot.
Charlie was a man of honor, of character, love for God, and of course, love for his family. And that's what I believe he'll always be known for.
What a Charlie, I would say, on this side of eternity. Thank you for answering the call. And as a believer, I will see him again.
For many of us in this country, we'll see him again. But I want to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done for so many of our young people.
Well, first of all, I would just express enormous gratitude.
Hard to even talk about his name in the past tense still. It's difficult to articulate the depth of gratitude that we should all hold for Charlie Kirk.
Charlie would not want anyone to be silenced by that bullet that stole him from us. I feel like the message that the world is sending to Charlie Kirk right now is that his sacrifice certainly wasn't for naught.
I have the greatest respect for you, Charlie. You lived your dreams. You lived your morals. You lived your passion. You lived your objectives. He didn't hold anything back. He left nothing on the table. He brought it all. You always brought it all, and you always brought it out there. And I love you for it.
Thank you for the inspiration, Charlie. Thank you for making yourself a template, a paradigm of strength and moral courage. And you've given us an example to follow.
I would say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being a great American. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your faith. Thank you for being an example of how you treat and talk about your own wife, how you talk about your own kids. I think we are in need of great examples in America. And Charlie, you have been a great example.
We know that Charlie is now in the arms and the loving embrace of Jesus Christ, who he dedicated his life to. And in that knowledge, we too can rest in God's love.